Please welcome the President and CEO of Reconstructing Judaism, Rabbi Deborah Waxman.
This is so hard. Everything changes and changes again and then changes again. The world we knew when we entered Shabbat on Friday evening was gone by the time we woke up the next day. Suddenly, America is at war, and Israel is at war again, and millions of people across the Middle East are under attack and seeking shelter, even where no shelters exist. And while we have hopes and prayers and ideas and recommendations, we do not know how this will end. And many Americans are devastated at how it started. Before every diplomatic avenue was exhaustively pursued, and without adequate consultation with or oversight from Congress, in direct violation of the United States Constitution. This moment asks so much of us. To be clear-eyed about the threats the nation of Israel faces, and also to keep our hearts open to the pain and the aspirations of all the people who live there, Israelis and Palestinians alike. To decry the brutality of the Iranian regime and to hold their leaders and our own to the rule of law. To stand once again in solidarity with Israelis who are in a life and death battle, and also to fight for the constitutional ideals that undergird American democracy and that have fostered Jewish life here. To remain in coalition, in community, in friendship, in family, with people who hold different opinions, draw different conclusions, pursue different strategies. We can do this. We can hold this complexity. In the 1920s and 30s, Rabbi Mordecai Kaplan articulated a radical transformative idea. We can understand Judaism to be the evolving religious civilization of the Jewish people. This understanding would become the basis for Reconstructionism and for Reconstructing Judaism, its central organization, which I now lead. At that time, Kaplan was speaking to the children of immigrants, first-generation Americans, Jews who were also the children of democracy. He insisted on a powerful and liberating truth. We do not have to choose between being Jewish and being American. We can live in two civilizations with each enriching the other. As Jews, we are bound up in Jewish peoplehood, in a sense of connection and mutual obligation that transcends time and geographic space, that connects us to Jews around the world, all who live now, all who came before us, all who will follow. And from that sense of Jewish peoplehood, American Jews can say to Israelis, we are with you. We are in pain around your pain, your concerns, the risks you face, the price you pay to make lives for yourself and for your children. This sense of peoplehood binds us together, so much so that it compels us to speak up when we believe you are acting in ways that undermine the ideals enshrined in Israel's Declaration of Independence or that violate human rights. At its best, peoplehood is not empty symbolism, it's not cheerleading. It is full of relationship and concern and, yes, even struggle, because we know and we believe and we commit to making real that our connections will abide. And as Americans, we double down on the founding democratic principles of this country enshrined in our Constitution. The expansive realization of these principles empowers cultural pluralism, which has been a fertile ground for Jewish life to flourish. In a time of rising populist movements and authoritarianism and even war, we must recommit to democracy. Jews in Israel, in America, and around the world have not fully processed the aftermath of the horrific events on October 7th or the years of war that followed, with massive disruption and cost to Israeli society and tremendous loss of life in Gaza. The hostages are all home, finally, but there has been no investigation, and now Israel is thrust into another war. And here in the States, we are seeing the rise of Christian nationalism accompanied by the restriction of rights for minority population. Anti-Semitism is surging. Demagogues, misinformation, and hate are having exponential impact through cutting-edge media, fraying our social fabric and increasing inequity and inequality. We are seeing an unprecedented concentration of power by our executive branch, and we are seeing efforts to normalize the militarization of our city streets with government agents who are dismissive of basic rights, who are enacting policies and practices that have inflicted too many injuries, too much trauma, and yes, too many deaths, including Renee Good and Alex Pretty, deaths that surely were preventable. In January, the Reform, Conservative, and Reconstructionist movements joined together to jointly condemn the violent enforcement of American immigration law and the lack of warrants and due process, actions that are all too easy to see as the gateway to the infringement of other individual liberties. So too in our fight against anti-Semitism, we have deep concerns about how this fight is being weaponized in a manner that curtails other freedoms. The most consequential choice before us now is how we respond to the rising tide of challenges. Retreating inward or asserting superiority, these are defensive postures that I believe will only lead us backward. We must discern our highest values in the face of overwhelming complexity and then commit ourselves to acting on these values. Jews have been safest in pluralistic democracies and most at risk when those democracies falter or are abandoned. So, for the health of our community and the societies that have nurtured us and so many others, let us commit ourselves to the following. First, to deepen our Jewish identities. We must invest in creating robust and confident Jewish identities for ourselves and for the next generation. This is what will enable them to draw on Jewish wisdom and practice and will provide a solid foundation for them to encounter the world, a world that is full of potential and a world that includes surging anti-Semitism. And this is what will give them strength and confidence to act in that world and to feel abiding connection with Jews across time across space around the world. We must build up effective coalitions, both within and beyond the Jewish community, including ones that were strained or even broken after October 7th, including ones where we do not agree on every issue. Internally, we have to work on the broadest coalitions that presume that all Jews vehemently oppose anti-Semitism and seek conditions for Jews to flourish, and that do not draw red lines legitimating particular expressions of Jewish peoplehood. Externally, we must see and act on the concern of allies and potential allies so that we can ask them to see and act on our concerns as well. From a pragmatic minimum, we have to show up for others. From an ethical maximum, these relationships must not be transactional. They should be expressions of shared commitments and genuine relationships. Only then can we call folks out if and when they don't show up for us. And I deeply believe that this includes continuing the work to dismantle systemic racism. I vehemently reject the premise that battling anti-Semitism supersedes fighting racism. They are intertwined. Pursuing racial justice work is critical, enabling white Jews to understand and work to undo the harm structural racism does to all people of color, Jewish and non-Jewish, empowering us to be potent allies, and strengthening the structures and the practices of pluralism and democracy. And finally, we have to stay engaged with what's happening around us in America and in Israel. The only way extremist visions espoused by others become fully realized is if regular people like us check out. It's hard, but we have to stay engaged. That is how democracy dies and our futures get hijacked. We are all here at this convention because we are all called litaken olam, to repair the world. And there is so much work to do. And you know, J Street, all of us here, that your commitment to peace, to Israel, to democracy broadly is inspiring, even as it invokes strong passion, emotional responses, and yes, at times disagreement. We can navigate complexity. We can stay in relationship. We can hold true to our values. Oseh Shalom, maker of peace, help us to use all of our capacities, our voices, our votes, our visions, our partnerships, to work to make peace for all Israel and for all who dwell on earth.